G'day, Andy from Single Malt. How are ya? So today I'm going to taste Glenburgie. Glenburgie is a distillery that's been around for a very long time. It's had a checkered past in that it's been operational and then has gone into a mothball state and then come out of it again about 4 or 5 times through the last 200 or so years. It started in the early 1800s as Kiln Flat, and then changed its name to Glenburgie several years later. And it still retains its name as Glenburgie, although if you actually go there, you'll probably see the name Ballantyne's on the wall rather than Glenburgie, because Glenburgie is very seldomly released as a single malt, and 99.99% of its production actually goes into Ballantyne's or Old Smuggler blended whiskies. So it's a bit unique that we actually get to try a distillery release of the single malt. Well, I should just classify that this is an independent bottling of a distillery whiskey. So just let me explain. So the distillery released some barrels to a bottler. In this case, it's Gordon MacPhail, which is a very famous and very well respected bottler. They've been around since 1894 in Elgin, up in Speyside. So they've bought a few barrels of the Glenburgie and aged it, and when they think it's ready, they'll blend those final barrels to release a distillery label as an independent bottling. So this is a Gordon MacPhail. You can actually see it down here if you can read back to front. Sorry about this. This is a Gordon MacPhail release of Glenburgie. It's a single malt whiskey, but because you can't get it as an official distillery bottling, it's available as an independent bottling. So a bit of terminology there for the real sticklers for detail. But I trust the people at Gordon MacPhail, having visited them. They really care about the whiskey that they put together, and they've got some of the oldest whiskey that's still in cask anywhere in the world. It's really impressive that they've been running so long as a business and doing independent bottlings. So I tried this once before, but that was before it closed down and was rebuilt. So it closed in 2000 and it was rebuilt and started up again in 2004. So this is a bottling from 10 years after the rebuild. They kept the stills, but they put them in new buildings and redid all the pipe work. So it'll be interesting to see what's different, if it is different. I remember that it had really beautiful sherry butts last time, so we'll see what it's like. Actually, they mentioned on the label the sherry butts, so I'm quite looking forward to that. I remember it had a really lovely sweetness to it as well, so we'll see what it's like and see if they've retained those traditional characters with the old stills, but in a new building. Still my favourite sound in the world. Alright, so that lovely bronze colour, as you can see, indicative of sherry rather than American oak. Now notice I don't swirl the whiskey. Big faux pas for a whiskey drinker. If you're a wine drinker and moving to whiskey, don't swirl, because you get more than enough of nose coming off just from the glass. Okay, so the nose is presenting with those Christmas cake sherry type attributes. I'm getting almonds, obviously dried fruits of raisins and whatnot, but beyond that I'm looking for other things, and I'm seeing almonds and cloves. Lovely, lovely, nutty and spicy. It's got a lot of second flavours. Okay. First up, I was really impressed with the creaminess of the whiskey. It's got a real soft, elegant flavour. Quite a bit of a rise now. So on the front palate, it's not as sweet. It's still got lovely flavour, but not that really overt sweetness that Glenburgie that I remember had. Okay, so starting off, it's very creamy, not so sweet, but it does have some lovely rich, creamy sweetness. Not real sweetness, it's like the flavour of cream. Lovely, and a mouthfeel, really soft mouthfeel. You then get some really nice secondary spices coming through, and then a lift of like a, what's that lift? It's like a mustard sort of lift, like a sort of opens up your senses as well. And then just a really nice, like not a really dry finish, which I quite like. Maybe a touch of a metallic aftertaste just lingering there. Not unpleasant at all, really quite nice. But that's much better than I remember it. All sorts of fun stuff. Lots of marmalade. Yeah, really nice marmalade all through there. Anyway, there's the Glenburgie 10-year-old. Still going strong. You can only get it as an independent bottling, and Gordon MacPhail are the place to go to get it, or get it from the website or through the store. Take care.